Forget everything you think you know about Marvel villains. We're going way back to the deepest, darkest corners of the Marvel universe. We'll meet the Red Skull, trained by Hitler himself, the time-traveling Kang the Conqueror, and the ruler of the Negative Zone, Annihilus. Get ready to discover the oldest, weirdest, and most obscure Marvel villains you never knew existed. First up, the one and only Red Skull, a villain so iconic, so malevolent that he's transcended mere comic book pages to become a symbol of pure evil. Hitting the scene in 1941, can you believe it? 1941, this Nazi nightmare was giving Captain America grief before it was even fashionable to punch Nazis. Originally a regular, run-of-the-mill horrible person named Johann Schmidt, his depravity was so potent, so palpable, that he was taken under the wing of Adolf Hitler himself and personally trained to be the ultimate weapon of terror. Unlike some villains with flashy powers, the Red Skull's true weapons were his genius-level intellect, his mastery of strategy that allowed him to manipulate events from behind the scenes, and a brutal hand-to-hand combat proficiency honed through years of ruthless training. He may not have had inherent super strength, but his scarred face, a horrifying visage that mirrored the monster within, and his infamous dust of death, a chemical weapon that could kill in seconds, leaving its victims with a gruesome, skull-like rictus, were more than enough to cement his terrifying legacy. And as if that wasn't enough, let's not forget that this embodiment of evil once fused his mind with the pacifist and noble Charles Xavier, leader of the X-Men, granting him powerful psychic abilities for a time, a truly chilling combination of ideological opposites. Next, let's talk about tentacles. We're diving into the twisted genius of Dr. Octopus, or Doc Ock, as he's affectionately known to his enemies. This multi-limbed menace smashed into the pages of The Amazing Spider-Man #3 in 1963, forever changing the wall-crawler's life. Before his descent into villainy, Doc Ock was Otto Octavius, a brilliant and respected nuclear physicist, a man at the forefront of scientific innovation. Tragically, a catastrophic lab accident, a blinding flash of radiation, fused 4 powerful experimental robotic arms to his body, forever altering his physical form and, more insidiously, warping his once brilliant mind. These weren't just any robotic appendages. These highly advanced prehensile tentacles were controlled directly by his thoughts, granting him extraordinary super strength, unparalleled agility, and the ability to manipulate objects with incredible precision. Imagine the dexterity. It's said he can even use them to perform delicate tasks, even while also using them to hold a building up. And here's a fun fact to file away. Dr. Octopus holds the distinction of being the very first villain to ever hand Spider-Man a true defeat in combat. Can you picture that on your supervillain resume? Defeating Spider-Man. It instantly solidified his place as one of the web slinger's most formidable and enduring foes. Now let's dig deep, really deep, for a villain who prefers the dimly lit tunnels and echoing caverns far beneath our feet, the Mole Man. This subterranean schemer actually holds the unique honor of being the very first villain the Fantastic Four ever faced, making his debut in the groundbreaking Fantastic Four #1 all the way back in 1961. That's right, he predates almost every other major Marvel villain. Before he became the ruler of the underworld, the Mole Man was a brilliant, if somewhat eccentric scientist, shunned and ridiculed by the surface world for his appearance and unconventional theories. Driven to the fringes of society, he embarked on a perilous journey to the Earth's core, where he stumbled upon the hidden, breathtaking realm of Subterranea. In this subterranean wonderland, he found not only refuge, but also a kingdom, becoming the undisputed ruler of the Moloids, a race of small, pale, subterranean humanoids who consider him their leader. He might not have flashy superpowers like super strength or flight, but the Mole Man is a master strategist, utilizing his knowledge of advanced to forgotten technology and his command over the monstrous creatures that dwell in the depths to constantly plot and scheme against the surface world he feels rejected him. Plus, who can forget his signature radar sense, a unique ability that allows him to navigate and perceive his surroundings in the pitch-black darkness of his underground domain. How about a villain who proves that true power comes not from brute strength, but from a razor-sharp intellect? We're talking about the Mad Thinker, a moniker that perfectly encapsulates his formidable mental prowess. First appearing in Fantastic Four #15 in 1962, this guy is a strategic mastermind, a human computer with an intellect so advanced it borders on the preternatural. He might not be able to throw a punch or withstand a physical assault, but don't let that fool you. The Mad Thinker is as as dangerous as they come. His mind is his weapon, and he wields it with terrifying precision. He's a master inventor, crafting deadly and intricate gadgets designed to exploit the weaknesses of his foes. But his true power lies in his unparalleled ability to calculate probabilities, to analyze his opponent's every move, and predict their actions with uncanny accuracy. He can outmaneuver almost any hero, not with super speed, but with cold, hard logic, turning their strengths against them. He is a chess master playing with lives, always several steps ahead, making him a truly formidable foe, even for teams as powerful as the Fantastic Four. Next up, we've got a villain who embodies the perfect fusion of ancient mysticism and cutting-edge technology. The Mandarin, this iconic arch-enemy of Iron Man, first graced the pages of Tales of Suspense number 50 in 1964, instantly establishing himself as a force to be reckoned with. The Mandarin is no ordinary foe. He's a scientific genius on par with Tony Stark himself, and a martial arts master whose skills are virtually unmatched in the Marvel Universe. But his true power, the source of his fearsome reputation, lies in the 10 rings he wears, each one an artifact of incredible power, each granting him a unique and devastating ability. We're talking about power rings, ancient and probably alien in origin, that allow him to unleash devastating ice blasts, control the very forces of electromagnetism, project intense heat and concussive force, manipulate light to create illusions, and even most terrifyingly, disintegrate matter at the atomic level. With this arsenal at his fingertips, the Mandarin is a walking arsenal, a one-man army capable of challenging even the most powerful of heroes, making him a truly legendary adversary in the annals of Marvel villainy. Let's add another star-spangled foe to the mix, a villain whose name is synonymous with treachery and cruelty, the original Baron Zemo. Though his first chronological appearance in comics was in The Avengers number 4 in 1964, his story was cleverly retroactively woven into the tapestry of World War II, making him a contemporary and bitter enemy of Captain America during the war. This wasn't just any Zemo, this was Heinrich Zemo, the patriarch of the infamous Zemo lineage, a brilliant and utterly ruthless Nazi scientist whose intellect was matched only by his depravity. He was a master inventor, responsible for creating some of the most terrifying weapons in the Nazi arsenal. But he is best known, perhaps, for his infamous Adhesive X, a super adhesive so incredibly strong, so incredibly potent, that it was virtually inescapable once applied. This seemingly simple invention proved to be one of the most effective and frustrating weapons ever used against the forces of good. Trapped by Adhesive X, even the strongest heroes found themselves helpless, stuck fast, and unable to break free, a testament to Zemo's twisted genius and a chilling reminder of his villainous legacy. Over the years, he was a constant thorn in Captain America's side. And how about a villain who's truly shocking? We're talking about Electro. In The Amazing Spider-Man number 9 in 1964, Max Dillon, your average electrical lineman, was struck by lightning, transforming him into a living power conductor. He can shoot lightning bolts, control electrical appliances, and even travel through power lines. He's a classic Spider-Man foe with a truly electrifying power set. Time for a time-twisting terror. Kang the Conqueror, or should we say Ramatut, showed up in 1963, first as a pharaoh and later in his Kang persona. This descendant of Reed Richards, Mr. Fantastic himself, travels through time in battle armor, conquering eras. He's a genius with tech that lets him erase people from time itself. Oh, and he has tons of alternate versions like Immortus and Iron Lad. Talk about complicated things. Ready for creepy? Mr. Sinister slithered into the uncanny X-Men number 212 in 1986. Originally Nathaniel Essex, a Victorian scientist obsessed with genetics, he was transformed by Apocalypse into the ageless, power-absorbing Mr. Sinister. He's got shape-shifting, telepathy, telekinesis, a healing factor, and can steal powers. And get this, he was created by a child mutant, pure nightmare fuel. Last but not least, the bug-eyed ruler of the negative zone, Annihilus. This cosmic creepy crawly debuted in Fantastic Four Annual number 6 in 1968. He's got super strength, flight, and the cosmic control rod, which lets him manipulate cosmic energy and makes him virtually immortal. He's a recurring Fantastic Four foe and even led the massive Annihilation event. This is one bug you don't want to step on. Hey, you made it to the end of the video. Want to see more videos like this one? Check out this video next. It's about the newest Marvel villains that will change the entire shape of the Marvel Universe going forward. We're so excited to finally see these guys. Click the video now to find out more.